In this video, I'm exploring an existing Mighty network through the eyes of a brand new member, offering tips and suggestions to improve the new member onboarding experience so that new members feel welcome and are able to easily get started with the benefits of the network. We'll start by looking at this network in the browser, and then we'll open it in the Mighty Networks app because those two experiences are very different. I'm Marcia Chadley, here to help you be successful using the Mighty Networks platform. You can think about the support you need to provide for a new member and versus existing members in a similar way to what happens when somebody walks into a really busy, established convention. People who've been there before, they take right off. They see somebody they know the shortcuts, they know where the different rooms are. They head off and just join in and have lots of fun. Somebody new to this convention isn't really sure what to do, so they rely on the signs and the help desk and the other new member information, including existing members, to get going. A big thanks to Sandra Hartage for letting us explore the My Journey of Faith community. This public Mighty network has been open for 4 years and has over 200 members. You'll see in a moment that the network offers a nice variety of content and experience for the members, and Sandra has done a good job of thinking about what new members would need to get started and how to provide that information in a variety of different ways. Onboarding new members, getting them excited and feeling welcome is always a work in progress. So I'm going to be looking at what Sandra has in place and offering ideas to help level that up to the next step. Now, what I'm suggesting are things that I have seen work well in my own experience and with my clients over the past few years, but they're general ideas. They work in general for most networks. You are the expert of your own community, your own members. So take a look at these ideas and suggestions and adapt and evolve to what works for you. One of the ways that new members join this Mighty network is through the network landing page. So we're here at the network landing page. I'm looking at it in the browser so that you can easily see it. So we come into this network landing page. There's a welcome, tells me where I am, tagline, encourage one another daily as long as it's called today. I'm not quite sure what that means, but perhaps the people that would be attracted to this particular network would understand what it is. So as I scroll down, why the faith community? This tells me who this network is for right away on the landing page so I can help decide, is this for me? Is this not for me? Definitely what you want to do on a landing page. Nice and concise. Then it talks about the results that someone would get if they join so they can decide, do I want to invest myself, my time, my energy in this network? As we scroll down, it also talks about if you join today, what would happen? I'd find a Bible study course, some chat, some other enrichment events. So I can decide, is this something that I want to join? Here I am in the network as a new member, here for the first time. What do I notice? How does it feel? I notice the purple color, which feels welcoming. There's lots of words that say welcome and start here. The image is the same one I saw on the landing page, so I feel like I'm in the right space. And now I'm like, okay, what do I do? As a new member, I want to know what's here for me and how I can get the results that I want to get, the connection with the other women in the Christian faith, the support and practical advice for my life from a faith perspective, maybe the interactive Bible study, the chat, the events that I heard about on the landing page. How do I get started? So looking around, what really draws my eye is this welcome checklist. It even has my name on it. I'm going to start at the top. That's where I would start with the list. So first I might scroll through it, kind of take a look and see what's on here. There are a lot of things on here. So that's one of the first things I noticed. There's a lot of things for me to do to get started. Let's start with the first one. And I'm kind of torn. I'm like, do I read the "We're glad you're here," the welcome? But I'm going to start here. Fun little GIF. Finally, a way to truly connect with members of our community. We now have the People Explorer. Okay, why do I care? That's what I'm thinking, just talking out loud here. Click on the members on the sidebar and take a look. In order to make this work, You need to update your profile and share as much as you can. All members should be encouraged to explore members that share your similarities. What a great way to meet a new friend. Now, this really draws my attention. What a great way to meet a new friend. So I would definitely bold that, move it up to the top. It seems like what you're wanting here is for a new member to know why it's a great idea to fill out your profile. I love that in a welcome checklist. You're saying by having this be the first thing in there that the biggest part of this community is the connection with other people who are also passionate about using their Christian faith. Instead of just saying members of our community, I would replace that with something like that. Who those members are, so that not only do I know how to connect with them, but it's another reminder, oh yes, I'm in the right place. This is where I'm meant to go. I belong to this community. And things like update your profile, I would make this a hyperlink so that I could click on it and go right in and update my profile. Because as it is here, as a brand new member, I know there's a People Explorer. I could try and find members and click on it to see what it is, but I wouldn't know how to update my profile. Let's go with what I could do. I could click on members. It's over here. Let's try again. Okay, the first click didn't work because that was open, but then now I can see these different members. See, I'll collapse that so I can see more. And look at somebody, find out about them. So I could do that. I'm not sure yet how to do my profile, but I could do that. Next step, let's go to welcome. Another welcome. It's not one I've seen yet. Okay, I can control my notifications. This is a hyperlink. Now, I could not tell that because of the way Mighty Network works until I moved my cursor over on top of it and could see the underline. Mighty Networks changes hyperlinks to be the branding color, which in this case is that kind of purple. It doesn't show up real well. I would bold this so it's easier to see. That will help people know they can click here. They could update their settings. Actually, that goes to my profile, and I thought you were talking about notifications, so I would change that to take me to my notifications, not instead of the profile. So just update that, but I love that it's hyperlinked. And then download the app. I am going to, in a few minutes, actually open the app and walk around the community as a new member with the app, because I think that experience will be very different, and you're going to want to see that. Okay, so I've got this. Start here. And then I'm not sure what to do next, except down here, explore more posts. Okay, it's going to take me to our journey guide. That's good. Now, let's close this so I can see it better. Our journey guide, it makes me feel as a new member like this is going to help me know what to do, because I'm still not quite sure what to do. I know there's some members I can connect with. I know I'm supposed to fill out a profile, which I haven't quite found yet. So now I have a guide on my journey. Without scrolling, I see it says page, feed, discovery, events, chat, members, hashtag links. Most of these don't really tell me too much. So I would suggest that you rename those to something that is going to help a new member know what they can do there, not what it is. So not that it is a feed, but is that a place to find information? Is that a place to share information? What am I going to do there? So we'll get back to each of those, but first let's look at the page. Our journey guide. Welcome you. Here's who we are. It's a safe place. So more things that are helping me know, okay, I've come to the right spot. So now I'm feeling pretty good about that, and I want to know what to do next. Oh, now look at here. Here's the tagline that I said I did not know. Encourage one another daily as long as it is called today is a verse from Hebrews. So that is something that people that would be attracted to this community may know about. This is starting to talk about what the structure is here in the network, which is a good idea. And this, as a new member, I'm like, oh, here's the next step, because I'm already starting to wonder, what do I do? How do I find those things that the landing page talked to me about, the interactive Bible study course, the place to chat and connect to people, the events that they mentioned. But I'm going to do this one step at a time. Next step, journey guide. I'm already here. So I'm like, okay, I've already done this. And then blog posts. I might kind of scroll through, but before I jump out to blog posts, I want to finish looking at our journey guide as a new member. Let's look at feed. I like it says a place to begin. So what is feed for? What's one thing you'd like to get from a new community? I've already answered that. Actually, that was the icebreaker question. The welcome, I think that might have been the start here that I got to right here. So I've already looked at that. Forgot your password. Things about if I forgot my password. Getting started, that might be interesting. You can control the notifications. Go here to update your notifications. This looks like a different article than what I already read about notifications. Oh, because it was in the start here. This may need to be updated too. I'm not sure if it'll take me to notifications or to profile. So there's some things I've already read about. And then there's some other things. Talks about the personalized feed, which is good for me to know. Kind of like a tour without a tour. Okay, and we want you to meet you. Share a 1-minute introduction. And the community guidelines. It's starting to feel like there are a lot of different pieces of welcome and getting started here information that as a new member, it feels like they're in several different places. And I'm hoping I'm finding them and sometimes not sure if I've already read about something. Let's close this down. Let's look at discovery. Top posts, which are very similar to everything I've already looked at, and top members. I don't see a big reason to see this. I'm not sure what discovery means as a new member. I'm not sure you actually need this. You might want to simplify it, not have that. Events. Oh, good, because I was looking for the events that the network landing page said. There's not any upcoming. Okay, let's look at there's no past one either. So this as a new member would confuse me. If I came in, there's an event tab, there's nothing past, there's nothing upcoming. I'm wondering why that would be here. Now let's look at chat. Here's some chat. So I'm like, okay, this might be a place where I could talk and do the things, but nothing's happened here for over a year. So this isn't where people are talking. Again, I'm not sure about that and what the difference is between feed and chat here and what I would talk about here. Then there's members. As a new member, I'm like, how is that different from this new member spot in the navigation bar that I already went to and looked at? Seems duplicated information as a new member. Hashtag links. Okay, let's check out what happens. Nothing's found. Okay, so in general, looking at our journey guide as a new member, this first page of information seemed very helpful, especially the steps, because I'm really feeling like there's a lot here and I don't know how to get started. What are my first steps? For me, it might even be nice to have this, could potentially be in a table of contents instead of a page. It could be a page. I'd like to see the next steps. I like to know closer to the top that this is going to be, I'll be able to find some next steps right away. Maybe even just not having the image up at top so I didn't have to scroll so far to actually know, oh, here are the steps I want to take. Not excited about page. Maybe even that could say your first steps, something like that. That would help me know. So I've looked at those and let's see, where was this going to take me? So journey, then to blog posts. So let's go to blog posts. Close this back up. I see some other things across the top. I actually do like it when things are similarly named, but the same comment as with our journey guide, I wouldn't call them the default names that people use. I would use these names to help people understand what to do here, because now there was a feed in our journey guide. There's also a feed in blog posts where I could share what's on my mind, but I'm not sure what kind of things people share here. So as a new member, I would start reading some of these things to see what's here before I shared anything, because I just wouldn't be sure what to share. And if I looked at the dates, well, there's on a week ago. So that's what I would do. Discovery. Personally, I don't get a lot out of discovery sections unless I know it's for something specific. Here's that welcome. I know I've already seen that. Featured might be interesting to look at there, or top posts, top members. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do with it. But now I'll find the events. No, not events there. Again, either place, I'm not sure you need events in both places, probably just one. And wherever it is, it would be nice if there had been or were going to be events. Otherwise, I would leave it off, in which case, I don't know about having it on your landing page either. Here's another chat. This chat has nothing in it. So I'm back to, as a new member, not sure when to use feeds, when to use chats, and which ones to use. So I would simplify that. And another member list. So what's the difference between all the member lists? Let's look at highlighted hashtags, because maybe that will take me somewhere. Nope. Okay. Just something that would also help a new member. Highlighted hashtags doesn't say to anyone other than a Mighty Network host what this is. You might say quick search or find, search here, or topics, something that helps them know, oh, if I click here, there's a way to get to this kind of information. So if I go back to the journey guide, if I remember how to get there, look at my next step. Being sent to discovery, which isn't clicking. So I'm not sure if you wanted which discovery you wanted to take me to, here or over here. If I go to the network level, it's the same welcome checklist. Featured, there's some different things there I could look at. Top spaces, now that's a new one, so I could look at what those top spaces are, see what's going on there. Top posts. I'm still not sure. Well, let me go back here, because I'm looking for the interactive Bible study course. Day by day devotions by different people. That I'm not sure if that's what the interactive Bible study course. I don't think so. I don't think I've found that yet. So my next step here would be the sidebar list members, where you could see everybody. Again, something's wrong with this link. It's not clicking. I do like that it's supposed to be a link. I could go back. I could see people. Be sure to complete your profile. So here you could hyperlink to complete your profile. You can leave comments, posts. So this is telling me to comment and post, but I'm really not sure yet as a new member where to do that, or exactly what to do with a post. That I think would be super important to make sure your members know. Let's go down and check the FAQs, because maybe that's where that answer is. How do I invite someone to join our community? Probably, I'm not sure if I would put that one first, maybe. I mean, whatever you think is most important. Download the app, show me the roadmap. Maybe I need the roadmap. Ooh, that is a totally new one. I'm going to come back to that, because I'm still looking to I wanted to know what to post, but let's see, how to create a post might tell me. For a quick post, find blog posts, scroll down, and so here it's saying I could post here. I'm not quite sure what I would share, but this looks like be the spot where people are being encouraged to share. So I'm getting that. How do I start a chat? Start a chat. Click on this icon and find a list who can chat with you. Okay, that's up here. So that's a direct message chat. Okay, I was a little confused because I thought, well, maybe it was one of these chat rooms. So as a new member, I'm still not quite sure. I think I'm supposed to post in blog posts in the feed, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use chats. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I could go back. I could go back to the welcome checklist, and I do want to, because the welcome checklist is a great way to help members feel comfortable and welcome, know they're in the right place, but also get them started on interacting and getting the benefits out of your community. So I would encourage you to have things in here that would help people find the interactive Bible study course that's described on your landing page, know where to chat and interact with people, because that's a big result that you've mentioned, getting that support and practical advice. And also, there were spiritual enrichment events listed on your landing page, so I would encourage that to be here. These next set of items on the welcome checklist are all default Mighty Network items. They are okay, but they're nowhere near as good as what you've done here, which is to give members a reason to do what you want to do and then link them to where to do it. For example, here it says add a comment. If I click on it, drops me in my personal feed, and then if I scroll down, I could add a comment, read something and add a comment. But it's not as effective a way to get people to understand why they're what to do in your network as an article like you've done up here. Cheer something, fill out your profile. You've already talked about that in a better way than this. So I would go back in. You have a lot of things in here Reduce the number of things, and as you have time, change these, the ones that are important, more into an article like you have at the top. Blog posts, we've already gone there. More how-to. This is interesting. Let's look at that. This is kind of broken. So I wonder if this is an old thing that needs to get taken off of the list. You might want to review what you have on your welcome checklist and make sure the latest things are up. And what's starting the journey? Okay, here we're back to that navigating the roadmap that I had clicked out of from FAQs. So let's look at this. This is also interesting. So it's another way to get started. So our journey guide was one set of steps. And now here's another set of steps. Well, maybe not so much a set of steps. This is the roadmap. So this is more like a map of what is here. Collections of spaces. Talking about spaces and collections, which are Mighty Network terms, which you don't want to use them if they will confuse your members. They don't really need to know that something's a space. You can call it that. It's a place anyway, so it could be a space. This could be a list. I like that you've at least uppercased all these. You could make them bold. You could also hyperlink to these places so people could come and go and look at them and then come back to this. And instead of saying what this contains, you might say what its purpose is for. It's for new members to start to get used to what's going on, because then I know that that's for me. In fact, you might even say we have, if you're a new member and you want to get started, you don't need to know all these at once. Here's the first one to get started with, because that's really, as a new member, what I'm looking for. There are a lot of things here, and I'm starting to get the idea that there is a lot here for me, and I really want to know how to use it and how to figure out what's going on. If I scroll down here, there's a prayer room. Okay, we're in the roadmap, travel companions. Let's go to the roadmap. Again, there's a feed. Would I post in there? If it's just for this map, there's not much in this space. If it's just for this map, this could have been in a page. Travel companions, meet our members. So do I post here? I know I have a profile. Are these just members that you spotlight? Not quite sure. Or what I do in all these, not events, chats not being used. In general, I'm not sure what the different spaces are for, and there's a lot of them. Tuesday tea, a weekly chat. Oh, okay, so there must be an event here. No. Are there past ones? No. Okay, so it's not in the chat either. Must be, maybe it's supposed to be here on the post. I'm not sure. Polls, questions. It looks to me like, as someone who knows Mighty Networks, that you have split out a variety of things into multiple spaces. Even in the browser, as a new member, that's confusing to me because I'm not sure when to go in where and where to post. Don't know. Okay, so if I scroll down, Bible studies. Okay, there was supposed to be an interactive Bible study course. Let me see if I can find it. Well, there are multiple things here, so I'm not sure which one landing page was talking about. But I could go in and start looking through those. Still interested here. Okay, day-by-day devotions. There are a whole lot of day-by-day devotions. There's feed, discovery events, members. So there's members everywhere. I really think I would cut back to one member feature inside one space because everybody's in all the spaces. So unless there's a space that isn't everybody, I wouldn't put members in each one. I wouldn't use discovery. You might, let's see, even here, well, let's look back up at the, let's look at prayer warriors because I didn't look at that. Here you've got members again. You've got feed and chat. What do you want in both of these? What do you want me to do here? If you use the page feature and said something like new here with a question mark, don't put it first thing because once people already know what to do in this space, they don't need it. But then if I came in and saw new here, I would click on it and that could tell me, oh, when you have this kind of thing going on and you want our help, here's how to ask. It's also great to ask for somebody else because I've seen that down here. Whatever your guidelines are and your encouragement to use this space, you could do that there. And then devotions by Allie. New here might be helpful here. I'm not quite sure because these, at first I thought it would be Allie who would be posting these, but perhaps Allie is, I'm not sure how Allie relates to these. If these are, oh, I see they're written by somebody else and then pasted here, copied and pasted. Personally, that's a lot of spaces to have all these in. As a new member, it's kind of overwhelming and I don't know who I want to look at. I'm also, let's see, can I post? And also I could share. So why would I want to post something? If this is just information that's being shared with me, that's being written by somebody else, if it's just meant to be a resource that I can then respond to, not something I'm going to post about, just comment. It could be done in a table of contents and split up by all these different people. So it's just one space. All these spaces are starting to feel a little bit overwhelming as a new member to have them all on my left navigation bar and now on the journey now. And at this point, I'm like, I'm just not quite sure what's the thing for me to do because there are so many different things and I'm not sure and steps along the journey. At this point, if I go back over to my welcome checklist, is it going to help me? At this point, as a new member, I think, wow, there are a lot of things here, and I'm not quite sure what to do. Most of the people who use a Mighty Network, most of Mighty Network members, are coming in using the Mighty Networks app on their phone. Now, that's not what we usually do as hosts, so it's really easy to forget about that and to forget about the differences somebody has on the phone. Especially can be a problem or a challenge for a new member. So let's look at this network inside the phone app. Let's take a look at what a new member sees inside this network on the phone, in the phone app. It's different, mainly because the navigation bar is not visible at all times like it is in a browser. So how does that impact the new member experience? They're going to land in the welcome space, the same place where we landed in the browser. You can open and view the welcome checklist. You're going to have to kind of see that at the bottom, and it has the same things in it. So I could continue to work through in the same way I did. I could open up that article, see how to connect. It'd be the same kind of experience. We've already talked about that. I close that. Next thing I would do was go to the Start Here Welcome, look through that. I don't need to do the app, so I might go here to update my settings. Takes me to the profile instead of the notifications. And then I could continue going through that. But at this point, what I did within the browser was I was starting to see things in the navigation bar. Not seeing that on the phone, but I haven't read this welcome page yet. That catches my eye. We're glad you're here. Here's what we offer. Oh, this is what I came for, so this makes me feel good again. Okay, I'm in the right place. When I get connected, fellowship. So this tells me I'm in the right place, but I don't know what to do these things. On the phone, I'm really just not seeing it. So I'm going to check the feed. There's a post. I could interact with that. Here's another kind of welcome. On the sidebar, you'll find different options, but I don't see the sidebar. Okay, so that's not helpful for me on the phone. Go to Discovery. It's the same thing. So on the phone, this welcome page is a good thing. It catches my eye, makes me feel like I'm in the right place, but I don't know what to do. Because I'm a member of other Mighty Networks, I might think to touch that hamburger menu in the top left to open the navigation bar. Now, if I don't know to do that, at this point, I'm really not sure what to do. But I know to do that, and I'm like, okay, I've done the welcome. I like the Start Here. That grabs my eye. So I might open your journey guide. And then it's the same picture, which is interesting in a way. It feels good, but it also I'm like, oh, did I already read this? And then I'm like, no, this seems like different words. So it talks more about what we're doing. Here's the next steps. This is what I'm looking for, and it's kind of buried in here. So I want to be able to see those and use these next step. Here's the feed, and we've looked at these on the browser. Know that this, I'm not sure what to do here. The events don't have anything in them. The chat, I'm not really sure what to do here. What I'm wondering is if you couldn't combine the Our Journey Guide and the welcome into one space so that when you get started with the welcome, you know here's the next steps and the other information, the other great information that you have here in this page. You might even put them into one space and use a table of contents. And I'm not sure you need the feed or the chat in here. It depends on what you're trying to do. Perhaps blog posts is where you're trying to get people to talk and share about general things related to the group, in which case you could adjust and make that work that way. But you could see here in the phone, once you're inside something, unless you think about it, the navigation bar is out of your mind. You're just going to look at the things in the top. So the more that you can make these meaningful and combine spaces so that there aren't as many and you're using the tabs across the top, the easier it will be for people to use the phone. And I imagine a lot of people will in this network. Especially true, as I scroll down here, I'm not going to remember all these different people's names, but say these devotions were all in one table of contents and each of the sections was one of these people's names with lessons that had their devotions in it. It would be easy for me as a user to access those, and the left-hand navigation bar would not be so overwhelming. There's so much great information and places to have experiences here. And as a new user, I really need to be able to find those and take advantage of those so I stick around and I become active. Let's go back and just take one last look at the welcome checklist. Yeah, same things that we had there. We haven't looked at Meet Sandra. Oh, look, there's a video. And that was what I was thinking would be really helpful to have. So a video, something like this, or even shorter, a snippet of this, could be a great thing to have in other places that is really visible so people start to get a personal face and a personal experience of this network. Thanks again to Sandra Hardage for letting us explore her mighty network and think about different things that we can do in our own to improve the new member experience. I'm excited to go back to my mighty network and think about things that I can change and tweak, and I hope you're motivated to do the same. The new member onboarding in your network, it's something that there's always going to be things to improve on. So don't worry about making it perfect or all done. Just pick one or two things you want to do, tweak and explore those ideas, play with things, and come back and look at it later for more things that you'd like to do. If you'd like help with your mighty network, understanding how to use the platform, looking at your specific situation, I have a variety of things that you can do. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel, look at the other YouTube videos I have here, join my free Mighty Network where I model different ideas of using the platform, and I work with Mighty Network hosts on their specific situations with private support and in small group support. Thanks for watching and have fun with your Mighty Network.